Okay, and if you find it interesting, we can have one more, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is very interesting session for all newcomers as well as birders. 5W1H of bird watching. These very simple 6 questions have been asked to for bird watching. That is, what is bird watching? Why bird watching? When we can do the bird watching? Who can do bird watching? Where and how? Of course. I'm having Wilder Wings publication as my hobby, as well as I have published 2 books on birds. That is on Nandur Madhyameshwar. So we'll directly switch why birds. So let us slightly compare. Let us go from the science. Whatever we are doing in curriculum studies. What is the difference between the mammals as well as birds? Uh, I kept this for you because this is very interesting. There's mammals are having almost 6,400 species, but birds are more than 10,000 species in the world. Where mammals are having hair-covered body and birds are having feather-covered body. So you know the difference between hair and feather. As well as mammals are having a heavy skeleton, and then birds are having hollow bones. Okay, that's why they are able to fly in the air. As well as mammals are having mammary glands, as well as mammary glands are absent in birds. Mammals are having teeth, you know, whereas birds do not have teeth. That is very important thing, and they have very strong beak instead of teeth. So mammals are having lungs, and in birds they are having air capillaries. Okay, inside. Then blood cells are nucleus absent there in mammals, as well as in birds. The blood cell nucleus is present. Is very important factor on the blood cell. Okay, or very important differentiation between mammals and birds. Then mammals can sound through pharynx. Okay, through our throat. Upper area of the throat is known as pharynx, whereas birds directly sound through the syrinx. Syrinx means there are vocal cords through their throats, and they whistles. Okay, they can do whistling, whereas we can sound certain things directly. Where birds, they lay eggs, have hands and paws of 5 fingers. We are having mammal generally has 5 fingers, and birds have 4 fingers only. Okay, as well as wings. The hands are absent in birds. They are having wings, and that's why those are very fascinating. And mammals cannot fly as well as birds can fly. So these are the major things. There are many other things which are different between the mammals as well as the birds. So let us understand, and that's why. Let me tell you, the birds are present on the earth many years back than the mankind is was started. Okay. Uh, First, we'll start with the lecture now. 5W1H of bird watching. What is bird watching? Okay. Generally, when we go to other areas for bird watching, along with our friends or families, okay, there is a difference between bird seeing the birds. We can see the birds from our galleries, from our home, from our schools, from our grounds and all these things. But what is bird watching? Bird watching is not merely seeing the birds, but it requires lots of means. It requires observations, and that's why it is very important criteria of zoology known as an ornithology, that you can see or observe the birds. Why to observe the birds? Okay, so there are a number of species. As we have seen, more than 10,000 species are available in the world. In India, almost 1,300 plus species are there of the birds. Out of that, 42 species of the birds are only Indian birds, that is known as endemic species for the India. So these 42 species are available only in India and than the rest of the world. As well as in Maharashtra, we are having almost greater than 600 species of the birds. So that is fantastic diversity is available in India. Plus it's having own colors. There are beautiful colors of the birds we can see in coming slides also. As well as its calling is fascinating. During summer season especially, the many birds are calling lots of that is like quail, Asian quail, as well as magpie robin. These birds are calling in summer season continuously right from the morning 4 a.m. and onwards. Plus its food habits are also different. There are three different types of varieties of the foods which birds are having. One is omnivorous, that means sarvabhakshi in Marathi. Omnivorous means they can eat whatever things. Then carnivorous, they eat meat only. And herbivorous means they eat vegetarians only, veg. Okay. For example, the flamingo bird is a herbivorous. They eat only the what you can say in Marathi sheval, as well as and carnivorous. You know, all eagles as well as vultures, they are carnivores. They eat only meat. Then their nesting is fantastic. You can see their nests. We means there are different types of nests, like the sparrows are having a small cup type of nest. You can see from our homes and as well as from galleries, as well as bulbul. That type of birds are having a small nest on the small shrubs as well as in the gardens. As well as bigger, like eagles are having very big nest on the top of the trees. Okay, whereas the uh, birds like hornbill, their nest is inside the stem of the big trees, and they put it their nest covered up, and the female bird is inside the nest continuously for 3 or 4 months for hatching the eggs, and the male is feeding female continuously. So there are many good things on the nest. As well as the best nesting is on the Baya weaver bird. That is in Marathi, we call it as a sugran. It's a very beautiful weaving of the small grass of the birds. Okay. Then it's their breeding. Their breeding period is also a fixed breeding period. A few birds are having there is no fixed breeding period, but many of the birds, almost 90% of the birds, are having a fixed breeding period. So you can go and watch their breeding period, how they do the nesting, how they do the check their chicks and all these things, how they take care of their chicks, how they bring their food for the chicks and all these things. You can always see from our Animal Planet as well as National Geographic channels, maybe doing that. And their habitat. So habitat is also very important. Habitat means their area, where surroundings. That is, certain birds are generally look in the wetland area. Certain birds are looking into the grassland area. Certain birds you can see in the mountain area or forest area, such type of. So that is known as an habitat. And fortunately for us in India, there are all sorts of habitats are available. Right from the Himalayas. Himalayas are having very cold season and very good jungle available in Himalayas, as well as in Sahyadri. We are having lots of jungle. Plus we are having lots of wetlands are available. In India, there are many rivers in India, as well as the backwaters of the many dams are the very good habitat for the birds to watch, as well as many grasslands are also available. Plus the deserts like Rajasthan, we can see many birds in Rajasthan also. So these types of colors. So there are many fascinating colors. Few of these colors I have been putting over here. Almost all types of colors are available in the birds. For the example, hummingbird comes in almost 250 plus colors, different colors, and you must be knowing that these colors are not their direct colors, but those are the reflections from the sunlight, and you can feel the color different. Okay, when they are moving and through their angles. Then coming to the types of the beaks. So beaks are also very important because they do not have hands, so they can't take the food from their hands and put it in their mouth. Their hands are like a beak. So beak are very important. They are doing the work of the hand as well as of the work of the teeth also. So there are many different types of beaks. I'm putting certain beaks over here, like The crow, you can see the generalist type of a beak where he can eat any type of food, and any type of food can be picked up. Then insect catching. So there are many fly catchers. They are having such type of second type of a beak. Then third one is a surface skimming. Okay, there are few birds which are going on the water surface, and they skim and they take certain food. Then there are mud probing type of, so different type of beak you can see, fourth beak. Then grain eating, especially the birds which are like a munia birds. Okay, the scaly breasted munia, those birds, they can eat the grains through this type of beak. Then there are coniferous seed eating. So there is a cross bill type of a bill. So they can take the cone type of areas, they can pick up the seeds. Okay. Then the probing, that is probing inside the water or inside the mud. So this type of probes are there. Then filter feeding, that is this flamingo. You can see it's a beautiful bird, flamingo, where it actually sucks algae and water in their mouth as well as in the beak, and then it passes down their water and put the algae only. They eat algae only. Then nectar seeing. Nectar feeding is a sunbird, very beautiful example of sunbird, so this feeding of nectar, they can put the beak into the nectar area, and they put their this thing. I request all the guys, they should not put their fingers on the mobile or on the screen. Then fruit eating bird. Okay, then aerial fishing, and then pursuing fishing. So there are many different types of beaks are available. Like in the if you can go down over there, you can see the chiseling. So they actually chisels. Okay, then deep netting, that is the example of pelicans. So you can see pelicans in Gujarat area. So deep. Somebody is writing on the screen. I request they should.
Satish, you can
Yeah.
control this वरती तुला ते sharing दिसतंय ना वरती, तिथे तुला more
Yeah.
मध्ये disable scribbling करता येईल बघ तुला.
I do not have that.
On the top of your menu, that
So you
view
can click on
options.
disable
Okay,
annotation.
sure. Disable
Yeah.
party,
Yes.
disable scribbling, no?
Yeah. Annotation.
So disable participants annotation.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Then scavenging. So there are many scavengers like vultures are there. They are having a very strong and different type of beak, as well as raptorials. Like eagles, they are having a different type of beaks. So according to the beaks also, their food, you can identify their food, which type of food is required for the birds. Generally, this is what is one of the question for us, which type of food these birds are eating. Okay. Then second question is why. So why we require to do the bird watching? Because yes, we know that it's one of the enjoyable hobby. So for the enjoyment as well as hobby, then for the study. In zoology, in biology, there are ornithology is one of the branch of zoology where you can have the studies on the birds. And you must be knowing who is Birdman of India, Dr. Salim Ali. Okay, doctor, he was actually doctor, a medical doctor, but then he himself has done almost 75 years of his life spending to the all studying of the birds of Indian continent. And almost today's all the birds in India, he has found out with their names and habitats, everything. He's a great person, and that's why he was he spent his 75 years. Okay, and there are many people, they are carrying it down now. Then we can do the photography beautifully, because in photography it requires patience, and bird photography is very difficult, as well as it requires very big zoom lens. So all zoom lens are being required for all such type of photography, because bird, you can't take a easily photograph of any bird. You need to sit down somewhere, you have to take patience, and you have to find the bird, you have to see its habitat and then take a photograph. That's why wildlife photography for the birds is very difficult thing, as well as very interesting also. Then migration studies. So many birds, they fly from countries to countries. Even we are gathering many birds right from Africa, right from Siberia, from China, from many other countries. We are gathering, we are having birds. They come here in migrations seasons as well as go back also. As well as one bird, Amur falcon, which actually starts its journey from China, then it crosses through from Nagaland, and in India it comes in India, and it continuously flying from India, and then cross over from India, goes on the Arabian Sea and goes into the African area, African island, those areas. So this type of birding, bird flying is also there. That is known as migration, and they can fly huge kilometers. Then there are climatic feedbacks also we can see from the birds, For an example, very small example is of the crows. Crows, when they start nesting, that is if they start putting the up nests, on the trees, that is a feedback for us that within next 2 or 3 weeks the rains will start, because crows are having that type of feedback on the climatic this thing. As well as Asian quails, when they start singing, that means the summer season has been started. Or the pied kingfisher, if it starts whistling, that means the summer season is already over there. So these type of climatic feedbacks also we can get it from the birds. There are many others, but I'm giving certain examples only. Then habitat study, you can go and you can see. So there are many sanctuaries as well as Ramsar sites. You must be knowing what is Ramsar. Ramsar, these are the different protected wetlands in the world. So you can see in the world there are more than 2,000 different wetlands are protected, where more are protected in the Europe area, and there are very few in India. Okay, whereas in India there are 37 different wetlands are protected from the Ramsar. So I have studied basically for the Ramsar also, and I have done many observations for the Ramsar sites to get first Ramsar site of Maharashtra, that is Nandur Madhyameshwar. And you can see I have put the arrow mark over here, where you can see the this thing, Ramsar sites. And there are many Ramsar sites are available in Ladakh region as well as in Uttar Pradesh region of India. So for India, there are only 37 Ramsar sites are there. The sixth and last question for 5W1H is how. Okay, so how we can do bird watching, because it requires certain equipments, it requires certain rules. Okay. So for bird watching, it requires actually to follow certain instructions for the bird watching. We should carry binoculars as well as spotting scope, because birds you can't see easily. Okay, and for the so step of binoculars are required, the equipments are required, as well as spotting scopes are required. Then and then only you can see the birds. It is not important that we should have the spotting cameras with us, but we should have the bird watching equipments like binoculars. Oh. Okay. You can see the screen, no?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, sir. Yes.
so we should have the bird guide book also with us, because generally what happens that we know a certain bird and we do not know the name of the bird, and then curiosity builds up. So we should have a small guidebook also of the bird, as well as the hand notes also are required, because if certain things we know, if we saw certain things, a bird is taking certain different type of food, then we can write it down and we can ask to the experts. So handbook and hand notes are required, as well as bird guidebooks are also required. Then what type of clothing we should have? We should not have yellows and reds types of very different type of t-shirts, but we should have a t-shirts which are greenish type of t-shirts, the camouflaging t-shirts in the nature. Whenever you are going for the any nature for that matter, not only for the birds, but whenever you are going into the nature for observing natures, you should have the camouflaging different type of trousers as well as t-shirts and full sleeve t-shirts. Those are required. Why? Because you wanted to go by walk and there are many scratches which are happening onto the hands and legs and all these things. To avoid such type of things, you should have the full sleeves greenish t-shirts. Then as well as you should have the hands-free haversacks and water bottles also. Okay, because whenever you are doing this, where you maybe you need to go into the area where there are lots of sunlight is there, so you should have certain thirsty feeling. So you should have certain water bottles as well as tiffin box also with you, as well as cap is also required. And hunter treks shoes are required. Shoes are must. Cap and shoes are must for the trekking people. Okay. As well, you must be having. Just a second. Again, it has gone.
I request everyone, please don't scribble on the screen. Please don't do that.
Yeah.
It is a distraction.
Yeah, correct. Thanks. So cameras and sound players are not at all must. So these are the few things on what we can do. And as well as there are many watchtowers which have been built near to the bird sanctuaries. You should use these watchtowers. You should sit over there for a few time, that is almost half an hour, 45 minutes or 1 hour, and then you can see the birds. If you are having a patience, you can see many more birds. And this is my suggestion: use watchtowers. Please do not go into the banks and on the banks of the areas of the rivers as well as water tanks, water bodies. Then I have put certain quiz on birds I'll put certain questions and you can have answers in the world as well as for the India. So which is the tallest bird? In the world, ostrich is the tallest bird of 9 feet, as well as in India, the Saras crane, which you can see in Bharatpur region, it's almost 6 feet height. Which is the heaviest bird? Heaviest bird is again ostrich in the world, which almost having the weight of 100 kg. It can go more than 100 kg of the male ostrich, that is known as in Marathi Shahamrug. They're available in African region, and for us it is GI bustard, that is Great Indian Bustard, that is in Marathi Maldok. So that is the heaviest bird. Then which is the smallest bird? So bee hummingbird, which is very small, of almost 2 or 3 centimeter only, and in the world, and which is having the weight of less than 2 gram. Can you imagine 2 gram? 2 gram is the weight of the bee hummingbird. And for Indian, it is Tickle's flower pecker. We can see Tickle's flower pecker in our cities. You can see in Pune as well in Nasik in Maharashtra. And generally, if you wanted to see this bird, you can go to the Singapore cherry plants and just observe. Very small greenish birds are there. Those are Tickle's flower pecker. Which is the largest wingspan bird? So wandering albatross, it's almost, wingspan is 12 feet long, both put together. And for in India, it is beard vulture. That is available in Himalayas, almost 9 to 10 feet long span of the wings. Which bird can fly highest? The Ruppel's griffon vulture. This is an Australian vulture. It can fly as 35,000 feet. That is almost like an aeroplane where height it is flying. It can fly. Ruppel's griffon vulture. It's huge, but those are very, very rare. Nowadays, it is becoming endemic. Not endemic in Australia. It is endemic in Australia, but it is not available now. You can see more birds or vultures over there. But in India, bar-headed goose, Okay, these are the goose type of birds, which are type of a ducks type of birds. They are flying from the Himalayas. They are flying over the Himalayas. Rather, 25,000 plus height they can fly from that cold region, minus 40 degrees centigrade. They can fly. Bar-headed goose. Then which bird can fly longest? The Arctic tern. You can maybe write down these names and you can see their pictures on the net. Which birds can fly longest? Arctic tern. It starts from Arctic and then goes into the Antarctic and come back to the Arctic. Almost 13,000 feet, 13,000 kilometer it can fly in the year. Arctic tern. It is in the largest in the world, as well as bar-headed goose is the highest. That is almost 6 to 7,000 kilometers. They can fly in India. Then which is the fastest bird? Can you imagine bird can fly as fast or greater than fast like than bullet train? Peregrine falcon can fly 320 kilometers per hour. 320 kilometers per hour it can fly. Peregrine falcon, the fastest bird in the bird. Okay, and you can see this peregrine falcon in India. Okay, and their favorite food is pigeons. While flying only they can catch up the pigeons and they can eat the pigeons. And which bird is having highest species? As I earlier mentioned, hummingbirds are having highest species, almost 300 different species of single bird, which are 300 different colors you can see of the hummingbirds. And those are generally available in America and South of America. That is North America and South of America. Brazil, you can see hummingbirds, as well as in North America, you can see hummingbirds. Now let us see few beautiful birds of India also. See, this is the Asian paradise flycatcher. Very beautiful bird, and which is longest tail, and white bird with a blue cap, blue face. You can see this bird. You can see in all of our region in Maharashtra. Okay, you can see in Pune also. This is known as Asian paradise flycatcher, or in Marathi known as Swargiya Nartak. Then secondly is the Oriental dwarf pinky fisher. So the name is kingfisher, but it generally don't eat the fishes. It eats either frogs or crabs or lizards. Beautiful small bird and known as a Oriental dwarf kingfisher. And you can see this in Mumbai as well as in Konkan region. The third bird is Himalayan monal. Okay, the Himalayan monal is a beautiful bird from Himalaya, and you can see this bird in Himachal Pradesh as well as in Uttarakhand. The next bird is Indian pitta, which is in Marathi known as a naurang. And naurang you can see in India, in Maharashtra, in Konkan region as well as in Vidarbha region. It has 9 different colors on its very small bird, like a salunki type of a smaller than salunki, and it is known as naurang. Beautiful bird. Then next bird is Mrs. Gloud's sunbird. It is a type of a sunbird, but Mrs. Gloud from England, British ornithologist, she has actually found out this bird. Beautiful colored bird. The next bird is Satyar tragopan. This is an Himalayan bird, and you can have, this is a type of a hen over there with a very beautiful white spots on the red body and a bluish face. The next bird is red-headed Trojan. This you can see on the foothills of Himalayas, and this is also a beautiful bird having many different colors and design. And Sarus crane, you must be knowing, this is a great known as a Ram Sita, generally available in pairs, and you can see many of them in Gondia of Maharashtra as well as in Bharatpur region. Then greater flamingo. almost all the people, they love flamingos. The Mumbai people, they like flamingos like anything, because lakhs and lakhs of flamingos are available in Mumbai, in Navi Mumbai and Vashi area, and they eat algae. They clean actually our water. Whatever algae are there inside the water, they eat algae, and they whatever algae they are putting, that's why the red color is coming onto their wings.
Algae म्हणजे काय? Algae.
And what is our state bird of Maharashtra? Does anybody knows? The name is Harial, or yellow-footed green pigeon. You can see such type of birds. You can see near Pune. You can see whenever going to the Mulshi area, that area on forest area, you can see this bird. This is actually a pigeon with a green pigeon known as an Harial. Okay. And which is our national bird? Of course, everyone of us is known of this, and we are proud of this bird. Is known as a moor, or in Indian peafowl. Okay, and this is available in every habitat of India. Whenever you go in Rajasthan, you go in Himachal, if you go in Maharashtra, if you go in Karnataka, as well as go in Tamil Nadu as well, and Kerala, you can see this bird. Now coming to the ending of my presentation, this is a book I have published on Nandur Madhyameshwar. Almost 250 different type of birds have been put inside this in the book. I can show you the book also, and you can see the most important thing on this book is that you can see you can identify the bird from its color. Okay, you can identify the bird from its color. If you saw a yellow bird, you go into the yellow pages and then go and identify the bird. So I'll show you the book in after a certain time. And this is another book in Marathi on Nandur Madhyameshwar. Both the books are available on Amazon, and definitely you can see the documentary also on Nandur Madhyameshwar, which I have published it on YouTube. It is freely available on YouTube, Nandur Madhyameshwar documentary in Marathi. And if you write down in this thing, Nandur Madhyameshwar documentary in Marathi, and if you search in YouTube, you can see this. It's almost 20-minute documentary in Marathi, and it has a very good information about Nandur Madhyameshwar, as well as you can see many birdings over there, live birdings, which I have taken the shootings during my 6 to 7 years tenure. So this is what is my presentation. I hope that my presentation was very helpful for all of you. If you wanted to ask any questions, you can definitely ask questions or chat me.
Yes. So,
Thank you.
Satish, thank you very much. It was really very interesting to see all these things and to learn about the bird watching. That's 5 Ws and 1 H. I think we'll keep this session open to everyone now for last